I just stuck a bull. This bull has been sounding gnarly, nasty. On my right, there's two bulls fighting. I can see them going, their bodies moving back and forth between the trees. And then all of a sudden I hear this. There's another bull right there. Walking through his aspens.
I shot him. You didn't hear that?
No. We both just shot the same bull.
I shot him first.
He shot him first. Oh my gosh. What a heck of a pursuit, dude. All freaking day.
When your buddy calls you, says you got a buck down. And what does he got? A buck down.
Look what I found.
What a sweet coos, man. Opening day, heck yeah. Way to go, Steve.
Built mountain tough, Scree Gear offers hunters the highest quality clothing for affordable prices. With patterns designed by military concealment specialists, Scree Gear brings you closer to the game without being detected. With every climate in mind, Scree Gear hosts a huge selection of clothing for all the terrains of North America and beyond. Check out Scree Gear today at www.screegear.com. Use promo code BowhuntingAZ for 15% off your first order.
National Automotive Repair is a locally owned and operated auto repair shop in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. Jake McLaughlin and his team operate their business with a foundation of honesty, quality, and integrity. From routine oil changes to larger mechanical repairs, National Automotive can solve your issues and have you back in operation. The shop is located right off of I-17 and Thunderbird off Sweetwater Avenue, or call Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 at 602-978-3278. Arizona Archery Club is a premier partner with Bowhunting AZ. When it comes to attention to detail and a fiery passion, Arizona Archery Club brings it all to the table. With all the latest bows and archery equipment, you can demo every single model in person free of charge in their multiple demo rooms. Walk through the process with an experienced bow tech and see which bow is right for you without the sales pressure. Their indoor archery range offers air-conditioned lanes where you can shoot out to 40 yards. Take this awesome opportunity to hone in your accuracy and technique. When you visit, be sure to mention that you're a listener to the Bowhunting AZ podcast. Let's all support local. Real estate agents, are you looking to make your listing stand out? Arizona Listing Media has been transforming real estate listings since 2013 with their 5-star Google-rated services. Arizona Listing Media offers stunning photography, captivating drone footage, immersive 3D tours, and engaging video reels to showcase your properties at their very best. Are you ready to elevate your marketing game? Visit ArizonaListingMedia.com and book your session today. Let's make your next listing unforgettable. Oh, here we go.
Gotta get it going.
What's up, everybody? Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Bowhunting AZ podcast. We are live here at the Arizona Archery Club. We got Eddie.
Welcome.
What's up, buddy? Hey. And we've got Scott from Hike to Hunt. Hey.
Thank you for having me.
Today we're going to talk about Beyond the Target, how Hike to Hunt builds better bow hunters. If you guys have been in Arizona for a while now, I'm pretty sure at some point everyone's heard of Hike to Hunt, hopefully, and is hopefully also gone. It was one of the first few episodes that was on this podcast. I think I looked last night. It was October of 2019 was the very first one.
It was like episode 25 or something like that.
Yeah, make sure you put that mic real close.
There we go. First timer. It's all right. It's embarrassing.
You're good. Just pull it close, a little bit closer.
There we go.
Yeah. We're going to kind of do a little revamp and see kind of where you guys are at now, what's new. And even if that, there's just a bunch of people that are new to the sport, the hobby, whatever. And so we just want to make sure that they're familiar with it because I think it's honestly super fun. Super important if you do want to do any sort of hunting and you want to hone your skill.
Yep.
So yeah, real quick though, I want to plug these. Do you want to pick one of those up?
Heck yeah.
We got the Jekyll and Hyde from Evolution Outdoors.
These things are sick, man. We've had so many people ask about them.
Yeah.
And finally, I just was talking to Dale in Vegas, and I was like, dude, we need to get these in the shop. And we've been selling them like crazy. So I'm glad we brought them in.
Heck yeah.
2 good options, fixed blade, mechanical, whatever you want to run.
Yep.
We've been selling a lot. So whenever you guys need them, they'll be here.
Yeah, come check them out. I shoot the Hyde 125s, and I honestly just love them because they come with that practice tip.
Yep.
And unless I'm shooting here at the club, like that practice tip doesn't really come off. It just stays there because that's why I, utilize those. So
Exactly.
I think it's a big perk, which is kind of cool. What else you got there?
Got the new driver sight. So I don't know if everyone saw the video we posted this morning of Russ, but all these sites came in. This has been like a really popular site that everyone has been anticipating, and we've been selling them like crazy. We had a big list even before they got released of people pre-ordering them.
Oh, yeah.
And they're flying off the shelf. So I don't know if people knew about the landslide. I think we talked about it in previous episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is basically just the next step. A little bit different dial. You're going to get a lot more travel once you actually dial it down. Okay. And then just the actual mechanics. The actual scope itself is still an AccuStat 2 scope. So that scope is the same, but the actual sight bar and everything else is different.
Okay.
So it comes in Picatinny, bridge lock, and then a standard pro mount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Heck yeah. And are those pretty readily available now, or are those going to fly off the shelf pretty quick and be gone here soon?
Boxes and boxes
do you?
and boxes
Okay.
in the back. Yeah, it was a madhouse in here yesterday with how busy we were, plus the big shipment of that
Yeah.
stuff. So we got a lot.
So come get your new sight on before hike to hunt.
Yep,
Right?
exactly.
You can
I
be
like
dialed in and be practiced up and ready time for that.
That way, when Jay and Scott set up targets at 155 yards, you're able to dial it to it. So
I know mine only goes to 100, so I have to guess the rest of the
Kentucky
distance.
windage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I hit about like 125 before my arrow starts getting a little close to that sight housing.
Yeah. I have a arrow stuck in Nordic Village in a tree somewhere. So
I probably had to dig it out last time.
yeah.
And then one more quick plug. I'm pumped for this. Eddie,
Heck yeah, dude.
that's that that two-tone. You want to tell just a little bit about the bow, I
Yeah.
guess?
Brand new Lift X, ambush fade to black for your dad.
Yep.
So it's pretty special to you.
Yeah.
Congrats on his retirement and stuff, man. I know he's stoked.
Yeah.
But yeah, that thing is dialed, man. Ready for Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Take
Dad,
down some Tennessee whitetail, dude.
yes, sir. And some turkeys too. He just got a bunch of turkeys
Oh,
the other
heck
day.
yes.
So he bought 36 acres in Tennessee. So there's actually a new logo out. I think I've maybe posted it, but Bowhunting TN or Bowhunting Tennessee. So we'll just kind of be some side podcasts, little adventures and stuff. But a lot of their stuff is over the counter too. You can, I was just telling Scott, you can shoot $2 and 4 does a year per hunter. So 6 deer a year, and they're everywhere on the property. He's actually planting I think 100-foot by something garden right now.
Dude.
And then I think we're going to do some clove. So when he bought the property, the people said, it came with a garage. There's no house on the property. He's going to build this house from scratch, but it came with a garage. And so they said, whatever's in the garage you can have. So, okay. Buys the property, goes there, opens it, and there's a brand new, I think it's like a 2022 Kubota tractor with 5 attachments. It's got, the tiller, the blades on it, like
Heck
all that
yeah.
stuff. So he's been driving that around like crazy, mowing, getting the garden ready, doing all that stuff. And he's like, what if we planted some clover? So, yeah, we're going to do some of that and just kind of get ready. It'll be
Heck
fun.
yeah. That'll be awesome, man.
And it's like, dude, airfare out there is cheap, relatively speaking. I think
Right.
round trip was like $200 with the Legion.
Oh my
So
gosh,
I was
dude.
like, sweet.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
No need to drive at that point.
Yeah, no, yeah. You couldn't make it out there for less than that, or more than that, less than that. But yeah, let's jump into the main topic here. Beyond the target, how Hike to Hunt builds better bow hunters. So we've got Scott from Hike to Hunt. We're going to kind of dive into the world of Hike to Hunt, explore your guys' mission and how you provide realistic 3D archery experiences, as well as just a fun event like this. I really want to to express that, like, obviously I'm passionate about bow hunting, so that's the avenue I'm approaching it from. But like, people can come out and just have fun. You don't have to be a hunter. You can just do something different and not shoot at a paper target.
Yeah, absolutely, and no killing involved.
Right.
You know, it's straight sport.
Yep.
Have fun. Hopefully, don't lose too many arrows.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
What do they say? Not all who wander are lost. Some are
Yeah.
just looking for arrows.
Exactly. Bring a rake.
Right. So yeah, we're going to spotlight specifically the upcoming event in Flagstaff, but you guys do have multiple locations around the country, right?
Yeah. We have 2 locations this year. Our first one's going to be in New Mexico over at the NRA facility in Whittington, and that one's July 12th and 13th. And the other one will be at the Camp Raymond, is the Boy Scout camp up there in Parks, Arizona.
Yeah.
August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Perfect. So yeah, we're going to kind of go over a little bit of like some of the course designs, the event logistics, and then just kind of the community and stuff and how this makes it all possible. Let's kind of briefly discuss your guys' mission, your history. Like I had said, I recorded you guys first back in 2019, and just how Hike to Hunt originally even got started.
Yeah. So it started about 7-8 years ago. I think the first event was like 175 people. Yeah. Whereas last year at Flagstaff, we did 1,800 shooters.
Okay.
So it's really grown, locally grown, organic, obviously social media, but it's basically word of mouth from people like you, active shooters, hunters, and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Like I said, our goal is to go more, but with just that little bit of exposure, we've kind of 10 times basically what we started at. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy to even think like, I wear a hat around and people notice the hat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that to me, I mean, it's just it's a crooked arrow basically, and people are like, oh, you went to Hike to Hunt? I was like, yeah, you go? Yeah, I go every year. Awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
Eddie, sorry if I forgot, but did you make it to the first one? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we all went, and it was like a last minute thing.
Right.
And I'm glad I went, man. That was awesome.
Yeah. I think that was the year they had the buffalo at like 120 something or whatever.
Yeah. Last
And
year.
the Sasquatch.
Yep.
Sasquatch's favorite. Yeah. Last year, I think it was about 115 or so, but it was a bedded buck.
Ooh.
Which I don't know about you guys, but even with my binos, I can't even see it. So I don't know what we're aiming at, and I set the target. You know what I mean? So it's like, just send it. And I'll pick it up later when I clean up on Monday.
Exactly.
What kind of inspired the creation of Hike to Hunt? Do you know where that like itch came from initially?
So it really started, I guess, from like trying to get new shooters involved. Kind of just being more family friendly and stuff like that, and just kind of promote new hunters that were like myself, where I had no hunting background. So for me to actually get out there and be able to hike, anywhere from 2.5 to 5.5 miles, it's exhausting. But then you have to actually pull back and hit something. Mm-hmm. It just made it more kind of real.
Yeah.
So that was the big thing. And then, I mean, basically, just get more experience for actual active hunters. I know a lot of guys, being August, it's right before, over the tag, or over the counter, sorry. Mm-hmm. So they're using this for practice. Mm-hmm. Like I have a buddy coming up on Friday or on Thursday with his son and some friends, and they're gonna shoot the event on Friday, and then use the rest of the weekend to kind of scout. So
nice.
Like that's legit what people are using this for,
yeah.
which is kind of flattering.
Sure.
So
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like how you guys lay it out, right? There's different levels of the courses and stuff too. Mm-hmm. So definitely like that family friendly stuff to where you could take the kids and hike them around.
Yep.
And then stuff that's a little bit more advanced where you're having to go over deadfall and all that too.
Yeah.
Where we have to carry Russ on our backs and do that, right?
Now you
got
got
one of the baby carriers.
Yeah, baby carrier with a little wagon.
Now you got the cart. You can
Now we
just
got the
push
red
them
cars, so we'll be set.
Just need bigger tires.
Bigger tires will be good.
How has the organization kind of evolved over the years? So initially, was it just Jay at first, or was it Jay and Phil from the get-go? And then now you've been kind of brought on too. And I believe Jay and Phil kind of get it all started.
This is actually only my second year, so I'm just as new as everybody else. Which, it's fun, it's exciting, but having people like you and Eddie, where I can literally just ask questions, it's what makes it that much more fun. Nobody's above anybody else out here, so
Never. Yep.
yeah. There's no dumb questions.
Right.
Just ask it and they'll point you in the right direction. So
Heck yeah.
What kind of sets Hike to Hunt apart from some of the other archery events that are around there? Or that are out there, I should say.
so Jay really prides himself upon basically most realistic hunting and shooting scenarios. I'm more of the, I'm setting the targets out there. He's up at the cone, and I'm standing there. I can see him, so I'm like, okay, this is a good shot. He goes, and he points a little bit to the left, and I'm like, dude, I can't see you. He goes, exactly. Because nobody's gonna. I mean, maybe you get lucky, but nothing's really head on anymore.
Sure.
So, I'll put it behind a tree or behind a bush, and you'll just see the vitals. That's all you get.
Yep.
So bring those binos and bring that rangefinder.
Yeah.
Like I said, he makes it as realistic as possible. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty rare. It does happen for sure, but it's pretty rare that you get like a dead on, very still, perfect broadside shot.
Right. I
don't
wish.
know that I've ever really had that happen a handful of times.
You just see the videos online. You're like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's 30 yards out. Like, I can hit that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are tough.
Welcome to real life.
Usually there's some sort of element or, something in play at all times.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, even, excuse me, even with like branches, like that's our big thing. With Eddie being taller, he can shoot over the branch.
Sure.
Me, I have to go below,
Okay.
and who knows, like my low shot may hit a rock because I'm so low. Like it's not as easy as it looks, but when you hit foam, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah. We see it all the time, right? Like in here in the range, you just have to shoot at a target and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Out there, you have to actually plan out your shot and figure out, okay, those overhanging branches, there's an apex of that arrow that people don't plan for ever.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Even at Ben Avery, there's nothing in your way at those targets over there.
That's true. It's
But
wide
in the
open.
woods, you have to think about that stuff. So
Yeah.
you guys set it up really good.
Yeah. So you step to the left, you step to the right, maybe you crouch a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
It's real life scenarios.
Exactly.
But you get to keep your boots on. You don't have to worry about stalking them. So you'll be okay.
So this year's location changed, right? From Nordic Village to now. I'm not super familiar with Camp Raymond, so can you kind of just elaborate on that?
Yeah, so Camp Raymond's a Boy Scout camp. Okay. It's right off the 40. It's about equal distance from people from Phoenix like us, and then even people up north. It's just a little bit off the 40. As a good thing, we basically outgrew Nordic.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we were limited to, and don't quote me on it, but it was around 450 parking spots.
Okay.
We've been maxing it out pretty much, every year.
Yeah.
People were starting to park on the road, which people were not too happy about. So
man.
we've learned our limits, but we also want to keep growing and evolving this too. So, I don't have to be the one to turn people away. That's the boss's job, but we don't want to do that. So by partnering with the Boy Scout camp and stuff, that's allowing us to have more freedom to grow with it. And that's our
awesome.
hope with other events too.
Oh, cool. And so remind us again, what are the dates for this year?
So we're going to be in New Mexico, July 12th and 13th.
Okay.
And then in Flagstaff area, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Okay. Perfect. So make sure you guys do those sell out, I guess, or should there be a time that people should definitely be thinking about seriously purchasing?
Yeah. So like I said, we still have a limit because we don't want to be too busy where, we have our set time slots where it's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And those are the popular time slots. Yep. So the earlier you book, the better. Okay. That way you can get out early and, have as much time as possible. Because like I said, those 6 mile hikes, they take a couple hours. Mm-hmm. And you're usually pretty winded. So you want some time in between, especially if you want to, hang out and even attempt to do another course.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I had a question for you too, Scott.
Yeah.
Just with the planning of the times of when it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you guys probably already considered it, but just with kids starting school, like right before the Flagstaff one. So,
so that
we've had a lot of customers ask and stuff. So I just wanted to ask you and press you a little bit just to see.
I don't get those emails, so I'm glad. But so typically at Nordic, it was the last weekend of July, which everybody's so used to. But with moving to the different facility, there's actually a Boy Scout event the weekend before. So that was our, it was either that or nothing, kind of thing.
Right.
And everybody in Arizona is different because like my kids start on the 5th, which is Tuesday. So I'll be getting back Monday. Kids go back on Tuesday. But I have some buddies that are shooting. Their kids actually start on Wednesday before the event. So they've already notified me that they are going. Their kids are not going to be in school. So people are making arrangements and stuff. But obviously, like I said, we do our best. The facility owns us basically. You got to, they say when and you say perfect.
Yeah. So. It's with like everything, right? There's changes and stuff. And there's always people asking like, oh, why this and why that? Well, those are the reasons why. And the best thing for us to do as archers is to support you guys and show face and show up to these events, right? So
absolutely.
We want Hike to Hunt to always happen. So might have to sacrifice a weekend and maybe it's a little bit of a crunch time before school starts for kids, but if this is what you're into, then.
And like I said, it's a few months out too. So planning wise, it's not like it's last minute. But then also just having, flexibility, whereas like some shooters do the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe they just do Friday, Saturday and go home Sunday so they have more time to prep, or Saturday, Sunday kind of thing. Because that's the nice thing, the way we have it set up is it's $35 a day. So, you can get the total access for $70, which, gives you a couple other kind of bonus perks too. But whether you do 1 day or 2 days, it's still $35. So, you might as well just maximize your time there.
Right.
If you're gonna make the 2.5 hour trek out, you might as well enjoy it.
Sure. I was trying to close the shop down for 3 days, but that wasn't going to fly.
We can lock it up.
Let's do a little bit of like a course breakdown. So let's cover each of the 4 courses. And so we've got a Shields family course, Reinhardt Hunter course, PSC long shot course, and Kuyu Western course. And of course, some of those sponsors can always change, but essentially there's 4 different courses.
Yep. Yeah, so the Shields course basically is our family course. And we don't want to. It's a shorter course, distance-wise, shooting-wise. We have it on the site that it ranges from 20 to 60 yards. It's give and take. All these courses are custom designed on the fly. Like we literally just walk, and we see a shot, put a flag down, grab a target from the side-by-side, and we go set it up. So there's no rhyme or reason.
Okay.
The nice thing about moving to Camp Raymond was it's also a new terrain. So we have a lot of shooters that are 5-6 years coming back. Obviously you're a lifetime member, but like people want to see new shots, new everything, which is hard to do in the same area. So having different locations is going to help. Now the nice thing about the other courses, like you said, the Reinhardt, PSE, Kuyu, like the PSE is the long one, which, like I said, we had, I believe it's like 117, 118 yards with the bedded buck.
Okay.
It's a fun shot. It's not realistic. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sending,
Depends on how big it is.
This is true. This may be the last time you're seeing them, but the ethics board doesn't want you sending it that far.
Exactly.
So the fact that you can test it and goof around with friends and play games like that, those are fun shots. The nice thing is I also don't want families to get discouraged by the longer ones. Not all targets are the same. So for the most part, let's say like you have a 30-pound, you're not gonna hit that far. It's not gonna happen. So we encourage kids to move up. Okay. That's 100% okay. Let the adults shoot first, so nobody's behind you.
Sure.
And people are gonna see you. So just make sure you're aware and stuff. But let them get as close as they want. It's about having fun, building confidence, and doing all that stuff. So if you come up to that 80-yard Sasquatch that everybody wants to shoot, which nobody knows what it's on until you're there. I think I spent 15 minutes with a kid and his dad, and they were just loving it. He took 4 shots at it. I was like, dude, take as many as you want. Take pictures, do whatever you want. This is what it's about. So getting the young kids, comfortable and into it. So
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
The Kuyu, I mean, is there any difference, the Kuyu course from the PSE course? I mean, is it just kind of all still similar and stuff, or
yeah, for the most
just a
part, like I
different
said,
shot scenarios?
it is different shot. Like I said, this is going to be a new venue, so
Yeah.
like, where it was like, like the Kuyu and Reinhardt, like we went through like the Aspen Forest, where like those were like the fun shots, where like we literally watched arrows explode because you had that cross that you had to kind of go in between. So we're still kind of, we're going to go out there, scout the land a little bit, see where everything's going to lay out. But it's going to be along the same lines as difficulty-wise.
Sure.
We kind of do that as the grading, with distance and shot capability, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I know Eddie and I have talked recently too that they're open to sponsoring, one of the courses and stuff like that too. So we're lifelong partners together. So
yeah,
we're gonna keep growing this together. And like I said, get your name out there. I know you guys are well known in the community.
We try our best, man.
You have to. I mean, when I started this, a couple years ago, like I think pre-COVID when I first met you.
Yeah.
Came in here, shot a couple times, and zero pressure to buy. Just try as many as you want. Just come back when you're ready. Borrowed a bow from a friend. He's like, when you're ready, go see Eddie. I was like, who's Eddie? Everybody knows Eddie. So I was like, I'll go see Eddie. And then, here we are now. Like, we're planning events together, and we're growing this thing. So
yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I'd like to see what we can do about setting up a course together.
100%. Yeah.
I'll make you design it. So
no, man.
There you go.
There you go.
Pressure's on.
You have to sprinkle some gift cards or something out there.
I'll say arrow sales went up 95%.
Yeah,
after that.
exactly. Make it super hard.
Impossible shots. You gotta shoot through a hole in a tree.
Exactly. Yeah.
Genius marketing.
There you go. Now you're thinking. Good job.
To put you on the spot, have you been out there yet, or do you know some specific shot scenarios?
So I haven't. Jay has.
Okay.
He deals more with the vendor, or not. I deal with the vendors, but he deals more with the venues.
Okay.
So like he went down to New Mexico and did the whole tour and stuff like that. I know jumping ahead a little bit, but we talked about doing other states too. So there will be more to come. So I'm hoping to be more a part of that. We can go out and scout and kind of, because just because you have 30 acres doesn't mean it's good for our event.
Sure.
We need parking. We need realistic shots. We need safe shots. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, I could put 100 on one course, but you're shooting between people. It's not safe. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I said, it's going to be fun. It's wide open, which means we have endless room to play with. Even with the vendors and stuff, we have plenty of spots for them. So,
heck yeah.
Yeah.
You tell Jay to bring back the pack out challenge.
The pack out challenge? All right.
He'll know what I'm talking about.
I'll make a note.
You used to have to shoot a target and then carry a sandbag with you back to the original, I think the beginning of the course or a tent or something. But it was a lot of fun. It was
at Seven Springs? Was that at that one?
It was at the very first event at Nordic Village there.
At Nordic, okay.
Yeah, I think he had like 5 sandbags at the time, and I can't remember how much they were. I want to say it was probably like 50 or 60. Nothing like super crazy, but it was fun. You had to shoot a ram, and then you had to carry it back, and then I think you got like a raffle ticket or something or whatever.
Nice.
It was kind of cool.
Okay.
But
so that's 5 more targets I have to carry out. Of the
5 more bags, sandbags.
Right. Yeah. Those targets are somewhat light, but those sandbags are no joke.
Hell yeah. What are the different pass options available? I know you covered it, but just to reiterate it again so people know.
Yeah. So we have the day pass, which is it's $35 a day. Then we have the total access, which is $70. Then the difference with those two, the biggest is kids will shoot for free as long as there's a adult shooter with the total access.
Do you have an age limit on that?
It's a good question. I'll follow up with you.
Okay.
I'll text Jay now.
This is my 18-year-old child.
Yeah. I know. Forever, my kid.
Like, wait a minute.
My kid will be forever 6, so we get the kids meals.
He looks like he's 35.
Yeah.
No, he's 6.
I know it's posted on the website. I just
okay. No worries.
Yeah. But if not, like I said, I have it written down here. But the kids typically are. I'll make sure I get the exact number. But
yeah. We won't hold you to it.
No, you're going to. You're already asking for ages.
Do you have to pay for parking, Scott?
Yeah. So, parking. I'll have to like I said, I'll double check because I know Nordic we had to do parking that was there because they actually coned it off and marked it and did all that stuff. More than likely there will be parking because we're going to have to create our own area and kind of staff somebody to be over there to kind of do it. So, but yeah, it's a small little minor detail.
Stuff like this costs money, so we get it.
Yeah, no, like I said, for being $35 a day, I've looked at other events.
It gets crazy expensive.
He's never raised it since the day that this started. It's always been $35.
Oh, okay.
Venue fees have gone up, gas has gone up,
Right.
labor's gone up, everything. It's always been $35. So I don't know how much longer he's going to do that, but hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just about getting people out there. But yeah, so $35, and then it's $25 for the youth for the day. If you do the total access, it's $70, $0 for youth. We do charge for the non-shooters, just for kind of the walkers. That'll be $10 a day.
Okay.
If you do the total access, it'll be $15 for the whole weekend. So that's pretty much the breakdown.
And how does the registration process work? Everyone can just go online pretty much and do it?
Yeah, the easiest way, if you follow us on socials, I'm sure you've seen the commercials, you can just click on the link to register, or you can go to hiketohunt.com and register there.
Okay.
It'll redirect you to the, I believe the company Stride is the one we use. It'll redirect you to there, and you can just fill out your information.
Okay.
And then also you can do all the pre-ordering too. I know a lot of people like to pre-order hats, and you can actually pre-order raffle tickets from there too, which is a big deal. People love that raffle.
Oh yeah. That's always fun.
Yeah, and you don't have to be there to win the raffle. So we'll text you, and if you're there, great. If not, we'll see you. Jay will meet you at Home Depot somewhere on a random Tuesday and show up and pick up your stuff. So
There you go.
Yeah.
What amenities and stuff is kind of provided on site there? I'm assuming they have, restrooms. I think, in the past you guys have had like some sort of food trucks or something. Will all that kind of still be there this year too?
Yeah, so we'll have all that. Facilities, restrooms will be there. We'll have at least 2 food trucks, potentially a third.
Okay.
They're already scheduled and ready to go. We have a ton of vendors from previous, and then I've acquired a lot more. A lot of local, businesses. So people are really excited. And the fun part is every time I call and talk to them, they're like, dude, we were just talking about going to the event. I was like, cool. Well, now you can go to the event and hand out flyers, business cards. So now you're making money.
Yep.
But yeah, there should be a great turnout with those vendors. Obviously being small business, can't guarantee, they'll be there, but yeah, we always have a great turnout, and everything's for sale there. We sell merch, but they'll sell. I had one guy, his bow basically exploded, and they tried to fix it, and it was just unfixable. So he literally had to buy a bow on site, had it done. But and people are going to lose arrows. So there's a guy there, truck full of arrows. He'll fletch it, do it all, cut them for you, and you're ready to go. So
Nice.
make sure you bring arrows, but if you need more, buy them on site.
Yep.
So.
Do you know of like lodging and camping and stuff like that if people want to do some more sort of overnight or all weekend thing?
So right now there's a lot of dispersed camping. That's kind of hunting, right? So that's where everybody is mostly.
Okay.
Just obviously follow the right service roads and do that. But all your major hotels, we're not far from Flagstaff, Williams, and stuff like that. It's basically halfway in between. So people are going to stay there. There's plenty of Airbnbs that people are, kind of bunking up. You're really only putting your head down. You're at the event from 9 to 5, basically. There's food trucks. You're basically hanging out all day. So people may just grab dinner and put their head down and start again in the morning. So those are your best options. Our goal in the future is to find, bigger events where we can do more on-site camping, because I feel like that would bring the community back, kind of together more. That's easier said than done. 1,800 people, we'll have to figure it out. But not everybody's into it, we hunt, so I can sleep in a trailer, I can sleep in the truck, we're fine. But, some people just do this that's all they do is 3D shoots. So, they don't do the camping part of it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go get a hotel, go get an Airbnb, or bring your trailer.
That'd be cool to get a big old camp out going on.
That'd be
Could
sick.
like the country thunder of 3D archery.
Here we go.
Huntry Thunder.
You could sing if you want.
We would definitely go viral. I can tell you that right now.
We'll get Russ up on stage there.
Yeah, there you go. You're hired, Russ.
Boot scooting.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Poor guy.
What specific pieces of gear do you recommend that people bring for an event like this? You've already said arrows. Definitely, we'll say it
Yep.
again. Get your arrows ready.
Get your arrows ready. The biggest thing, and I mean most people are in. Everybody's got their own bow. We know that's the thing. You can't shoot somebody else's bow. Like it's impossible. So you got your bow, you got your arrows. Binos are good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, everybody's got their harness, so it's usually in there. Just to kind of, a lot of people play games, right?
Sure.
Like, so it's like, that center's 12, 10, whatever, you work your way out. So people want to hit those vitals. Rangefinder is very important. We don't have, we have them on a sheet,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not public knowledge. So
marked,
you have
yeah.
to do your own due diligence.
Okay.
And I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, like I ranged a bear, it was 52. I was like, turn my dial 52. Thing skipped right in. I was like, all right, this is gonna be a long day. Checked it again. It was 81. I was like,
Oh man.
it must have caught like a branch or a piece of grass or something.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, make sure you got a good rangefinder. Most important, and I want to make sure everybody knows is we don't provide water throughout the course.
Okay.
So make sure you bring jugs of water, bring camelbacks. You're gonna hike with it, which is gonna be good. Added weight and everything like that. So just make sure you have enough water.
Okay.
Rain gear.
Yes.
It rains almost every year. on
Every
us.
year. That's the fun of it.
We,
though,
we,
too.
Yes, exactly.
we lucked out last year.
Yeah.
We got really lucky. We didn't
Oh,
have, we had some long work days because we had rain coming in and we knew we were going to get kind of toast. So we kind of pushed those days longer. But yeah, we were lucky because I remember in past ones,
Bad.
everyone was getting towed out by other trucks and
Yeah.
it was a nightmare. That place is a muddy mess. So
Yeah. It just adds to the fun, though.
yeah,
It does.
it's hunting.
Shooting in the rain is a blast
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
That's funny. I was going to say because I don't shoot outside when it's windy. I was like, this is not
Oh,
fun. I was
yeah.
like, well, that's realistic. Maybe I should do a little more outside shooting.
I rarely use one, but for this, I'll usually bring some sort of hip quiver or something like that. Or even if you just bring a hip quiver and you fold that extra piece over and stick it in your pack. Yeah, I will bring some sort of light pack or something, maybe like a day pack. I'll throw that hip quiver in there just so I have all my arrows with me and I can tote them around. But
Yeah,
we
no-
sell a bunch of arrow tubes that people
do you?
put.
There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
So just an arrow tube, put it in the backpack.
It's
then
in the
carry it
back,
around.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah I've seen that a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about the quiver. Yeah, to me, like you see quiver, you're thinking like the recurve
Yeah.
and the old school, But
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I can only carry 6 on there. So like, if I lost 5 on the Shields course,
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I had 1 left, and I was like, I'm still going.
Yeah,
going.
okay.
And you just keep going until the end, but having those extras would be key.
Yeah.
Because those some of those shots are really hard, and if you miss, you're like, I need to do it again.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
and if you're like me and Jake, like we'll get to those longer ones and we'll start throwing a couple bucks down,
yeah, dude.
get a little game going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, before you know it, you're like, crap, I'm down $20 and 6 arrows.
$40 arrows.
Yep.
Yeah. No, there was some good guys I met out there. Just that whole community is great, but
Okay.
like they make games out of it, and
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
loser gets the bar tab. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
like it's a real thing, and they're sticklers. Like they'll. Some guys use those fat arrows so they can cheat the line a little bit. Like this is it's a serious sport out there.
Yeah. Do you recommend people bring some cash other than obviously just goofing around and making bets? But do the food vendors take cards? Is it
Yep.
better to have cash?
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I'm sure everybody prefers cash.
Okay.
But for the most part, everybody has like a hotspot or
Okay.
I think we're working with Starlink this year just to make it easier. But
nice. There you go.
Yeah. Modern technology.
Yep.
But I mean, service is spotty. So
Yeah.
typically most people will take Square and tap and kind of pay like that. But if something goes down and you want to eat or you want to buy merch, just having cash is not a bad thing.
Okay. Cool. Eddie, anything you want to add to that?
You guys had a lot of trad shooters last year too, right?
The which ones?
Traditional archery
yes.
shooters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Russ's stepson was out there with a big group of them, and
Yeah, no, I
so
was.
everyone's welcome to that stuff, right?
Yeah. No, I mean the only thing, the 2 big things, and I didn't mention earlier is no crossbows and no broadheads, just because they destroy the targets.
What about my high explosive, like Rambo ones? Can I bring those?
You can, as long as we're doing a video.
Oh, cool. All right.
And you promote us. And you buy me a new Reinhardt target.
There's a lot of ands on that one.
Oh, yeah, there was. Awesome. Well, we'll kind of wrap it up for this segment. In our next segment, we'll talk a little bit more about just the community as a whole, then the aspects of hike to hunt with the community. We'll talk about the broader impact that it's been having on the archery world, and then we'll dive into some cool, fun memory stories and stuff like that from past events.
Awesome.
So cool. Well, thank you, Scott.
you.
Eddie. We'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.
Party time.
Thank you so much for listening to the Bowhunting AZ podcast. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast and smash those 5 stars on iTunes or Spotify and leave a little review at the bottom. It'll really help us out. For our short films, go subscribe over on YouTube. Just search Bowhunting AZ. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bowhunting AZ. Good luck to everyone this season. Thank you again for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.